Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gurudev ki, Santa Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhavatir Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So we'll read verses 48 to 51. So 51 we'll chant together. From 48 I'll just read it quickly. Kirtinam kundalinam keyura valayan vitam kaustuba bharana grivam pita kausheya vashasham. The entire body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva is decorated. He wears a valuable jeweled helmet, necklaces and bracelets. His neck is adorned with Kaustuba jewel and he is dressed in yellow silk garments. Kanchi kalapaparyastam lasat kanchana nupuram dashan yatmam shantam mano nayana vardhanam. The Lord is decorated with small golden bells around his waist, and his lotus feet are decorated with golden ankle bells. All his bodily features are very attractive and pleasing to the eyes. He is always peaceful, calm and quiet, and very pleasing to the eyes and the mind. Padbhayam nakamani shrenyam vilasadbyam samarchatam hritpadmakarnika dishnyam akramyatmani avastitam. Real yogis meditate upon the transcendental form of the Lord as he stands on the wall of the lotus of their hearts, the jewel-like nails of his lotus feet glittering. Verse 51. Smayamanam. You can repeat. Smayamanam abhidyayet sanuraga valokanam sanuraga valokanam niyatenaika bhutena manasa varadarshabam smayamanam abhidyayet sanuraga valokanam niyatenaika bhutena manasa varadarshabam smayamanam abhidyayet sanuraga valokanam niyatenaika bhutena manasa varadarshabam. स्म्यायमानम् अभिध्यायेत् सानुरागावलोकनम् नियतेनैकभूतेन मनसा वर्धशभम् स्म्यायमानम् अभिध्यायेत् सानुरागावलोकनम् नियतेनैकभूतेन मनसा वर्धार्षभम् स्मायमानम् अभिध्यायेत् सानुरागावलोकनम् नियतेनैकभूतेन मनसा वर्धशाभम् स्मयमानम् अभिध्यायेत् सानुरागावलोकनम् नियतेनैकभूतेन मनसा वर्धशभम् स्मयमानम् अभिध्यायेत् सानुरागावलोकनम् नियतेनैकभूतेन मनसा वर्धशभम् स्मायमानम् अभिध्यायेत् सानुरागावलोकनम् नियतेनैकभूतेन मनसा वर्धराशभम् स्मायमानम्, the Lord smiling. Abhidyayet, one should meditate upon him. Sa anuraga avalokanam, one who is looking towards the devotees with great affection. Niyatena, in this way, regularly. Ekabhutena, with great attention. Manasa, with the mind. Vara darshabam, one should meditate upon the greatest bestower of benedictions. Translation. The Lord is always smiling, and the devotees should constantly see the Lord in this form, as he looks very mercifully towards the devotees. In this way, the meditator should look towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the bestower of all benedictions. Purport. The word niyatena is very significant in this connection, for it indicates that one should execute the meditation practice as stated above. One should not manufacture a way of meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but should follow the authorized shastras and personalities. By this prescribed method, one should practice concentration upon the Lord until one is so fixed that he remains in trance, thinking always of the form of the Lord. The word used here is ekabhutena, which means with great attention and concentration. If one concentrates on the descriptions of the bodily features of the Lord, one will never fall down. Translation and purport by His Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you all for coming for today's Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 8, verse 48 to 51. So the chapter name is Dhruva Leaves Home for the Forest. And we have come to the part of the story where Narad Muni comes to meet young Dhruva, and Narad Muni is pleased with Dhruva's determination, and he actually wants to help Dhruva identify the process of meditation, and he tries to guide young Dhruva to attain his goal. So first Narad Muni recommends, in the previous verses we would have seen that Narad Muni first recommends the process of devotional service, and he says that's the only way. So he requests Dhruva to go to Madhuvana, and he requests Dhruva to practice Ashtanga Yoga. Right? So, and in today's verse we also see that Narad Muni, or from previous verses Narad Muni have already started explaining young Dhruva how he should meditate on the form of the Lord. So for that he actually beautifully describes the bodily features of the Lord. So in today's verse also we have seen in verse 48 to 51 how nicely he describes the bodily descriptions of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada in the purport also gives us a boon. What is the boon? If one fixes his mind, or if one with great attention and concentration focuses on the bodily features of the Lord, one will not fall down. So that's a very important one. So before we get into today's verses, I know we all are here in the temple, we had darshan of the deities. I would like to specifically ask, because the today's verse is about observing and meditating on the bodily features of the Lord, would you like to without again looking at the Lord, from what you've seen in the morning, would you like to give me some descriptions or some decorations of what you observed and what you would like to meditate on the Lordships? Any example? What did you notice? His flute, golden flute, long also, right? New flute, okay. What else? His garlands, what color? Did you anything specific about the garland? Flowers? Yeah, daily he wears garlands with flowers. Anything specific? Blue dress, beautiful. Thank you for letting me know that there's a beautiful garland Krishna and Radharani is wearing. Good. And it's a blue dress. Yeah, more. Gopinaths? Lotus feet. Yeah. Is he wearing some ornaments? Anklets? Flower anklets? Beautiful. What else? The turban? Is it attractive? What color was it? Krishna is wearing blue and pink today? You sure? Alright. But thank you. So we come daily, stand in front of Gopinath. We want to observe him, his beauty. So yeah, let's try to meditate on his bodily features, his ornaments that he is wearing, just like how Narad Muni is explaining. He's also explaining about his waist belt, his anklets, the bells that he is wearing. It's beautiful, isn't it? So Srila Prabhupada actually compares the beauty of Lord's bodily features to the philosophy. And it's not that simply Prabhupada says that if one observes the bodily features of the Lord, one will not fall down. So in order to understand how one does not fall down, we'll get deep. So it's mentioned that philosophy of Krishna consciousness and bodily features of Krishna are non-different. How? If we understand the details of the philosophy, if we get to know about what is Krishna consciousness, what is the philosophy telling us, and how can we apply, and what is the process if we master it. It is simply like understanding the bodily features of the Lord. And by understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in detail, one doesn't fall down. So that's a very important thing, and that is why Acharyas always emphasis on philosophy more. And today we also saw that it is compared to the bodily features. In this verse, we also have a focus on the word Eka Bhutena. What is Eka? One. What is Bhuta? Great attention. Bhutena means with great attention. Just like how we say Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishnena means with Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that Ena also adds meaning to the word. Eka Bhutena is the point that we have to discuss, we are going to discuss in more detail. So we are requested to practice Krishna consciousness with great attention. When we do something, it is always that our mind is always floating all over the universe. When we are doing some service, or when we want to just focus on doing something, that's when we have lot of thoughts. So what do? We try to bring our focus again to the point where we want to focus, and we start. So we are also discussing about how by focusing and doing our services, how one might not fall down. So that is explained in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 59. Vishaya vinivartante, you can repeat after me. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasa param dishtva nivartate. Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense object remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in Krishna consciousness. So what we can take from Dhruva's story is, his goal is to attain as big as a kingdom like his father, and to again come back to sit on his father's lap, to have a big throne and be rich, right? So, but what is he trying to do? He's trying to meditate on Lord with the advice of Narad Muni. So this verse, what does it say? Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment. So when Dhruva is meditating, he's restricting his senses from sense enjoyment. He's a small boy. He would obviously like to play with other kids, want to eat, have fun. But instead, what is he doing? He is meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is restricting his, though the translation for chapter 2, verse 51 says, though the embodied soul, verse 59 says, though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense object remains. Even though the young boy wants to play, but he doesn't, because he is observed in meditating and focusing on the Lord's bodily features. And by ceasing such engagements, he is experiencing a higher taste. One would not normally just like 6 months sit in the same place or do meditation without getting any taste, right? So in the process of devotional service, in the process of meditating on Lord's features, he has attained some taste, and that makes him fixed in consciousness, and that makes him see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So anything we do, we have to see it in relation to Krishna. Now, the example which is given here is to observe the bodily features of the Lord, so we can connect to Krishna when we are coming to temple. But at home, when we eat prasadam, do we have an opportunity to relate to Krishna? Yeah, right? It is prasadam which is offered to Krishna, so we can connect to Krishna in that way. Otherwise, what else is the process in which we can relate to Krishna? Yeah? Reading a book, any book, Krishna conscious book, we are able to relate to Krishna. Yeah, reading Bhagavad Gita, Science of Self-Realization. Yeah, any other way we can connect to Krishna? Chanting, very good. Any other way we can connect to Krishna? By devotee association, by chanting together in Sankirtan, we are able to relate to Krishna. So Krishna sees that how in the process of devotional service, how we are connecting to him, right? Anything which is connecting us to Krishna in one sense is also Krishna. Yeah, so it's like a spiritual master. He connects us to Krishna, and he is also considered to be an external manifestation of Krishna. So in this way we can connect to Krishna in so many ways, by spiritual master, by prasadam, by Vaishnava association, by chanting, by books, through observing the deities, through the holy name, through services. We've been given this opportunity to relate to Krishna. Because Krishna has manifested in this form, so we don't see him differently. So if we start seeing everything in relation to Krishna, then anything and everything doesn't get boring. Even if it's the boring of the boring services that's given to us. What is an example of a very boring service? Nobody wants to commit, right? Huh? Sitting on the door? Okay. He says, Prabhu says, if we sit on the corridor and welcome everyone, that's boring for him. For some, it is cleaning of the temple, it could be boring. For some, it could be cleaning of the toilets, it could be boring. But what Shankarshan Maharaj says, his god brother Uttama Shloka Prabhu was once given a service of cleaning the toilet, it seems. So, normally what would one think? What kind of service have I been given? Anybody would come and do a mess and go, and should I be coming and cleaning that toilet where it's so messy? So one would not really like to appreciate that service, but instead, Uttama Shloka Prabhu, Shankarshan Maharaj's god brother, he accepted the service with great enthusiasm. He wanted to show how much he can put his efforts to make that toilet clean, so that any Vaishnava or devotees who go there will appreciate and feel Krishna's presence there. So he took it as a challenge and he made the toilet as clean as possible. And so if we see that any service that is given to us as an opportunity to serve Krishna, then we would love to do that service, and we will do it with full attention and full focus. So this is the natural way that Prabhupada is actually teaching us as to how to focus and improve our service. And it seems Uttama Shloka Prabhu, he took it as a ticket out of this material world by performing that service, and through that service he wanted to attain the spiritual world. The spiritual world where Krishna, Srimati, Radharani, Yashodama, Nanda Maharaj, Gopas, Gopis and cows are all there, where they are blissfully enjoying the association of Krishna. So again, we have to take every opportunity to do service, to go to the spiritual realm and enjoy the association of Krishna, who is most renowned, who is most powerful, and who is a most lovable person. And if we can reciprocate to the Supreme Person by the small trivial services, who is actually looking very mercifully towards devotees, we develop that connection, right? In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 11:28, it says, Eme bhakta jana partha, name bhaktascha te jana, mad bhaktanam chaye bhaktas, te me bhakta tama mataha. You can repeat after me. Eme bhakta jana partha, Name bhaktas chate jana. Mad bhaktanam chaye bhaktas. Teme bhakta tama mataha. Thank you. Lord Krishna told Arjuna, those who are my devotees are not actually my devotees. But those who are devotees of my servant are factually my devotees. So what Krishna says to Arjuna, see, if you tell that you are my devotee, I don't consider you a devotee. But if you mention that you are devotee of my devotee, then I'll be pleased. Then you are my devotee. So Krishna always wants his devotees to be glorified. We see in the morning, we sing Manglarti. We sing for Gauranitai. What do we sing? We sing Guru Ashtakam. And we also sing Guru Puja. During Guru Puja, we glorify Prabhupada, who is devotee of Krishna. So Krishna is pleased when we glorify Srila Prabhupada. And even the best form of worship to Gauranitai is singing Guru Ashtakam. So that's why Prabhupada emphasized on us singing Guru Ashtakam and Guru Puja in the morning every day. So when we think of service, when we think of, serving Lord's devotee, whom can we remember? Who comes to our mind? What are the personalities who come to our mind? Like in scriptures, if devotee of the Lord is glorified, can you think of some names? Who could it be? Who are they? Some example. Gopis? Yeah. Any other examples? Prahlad Maharaj, okay. So Prahlad Maharaj is glorified. Wherever we find, when we are glorifying Narasinghadev, we glorify Prahlad Maharaj. Wherever we glorify Lord Ram, whom can we think of? Hanuman. Very good. So we are going to pick on Hanuman's life feats, whatever he's done in his life, and try to understand this particular verse today. How focused he is in his services, and how is he able to do best of his devotional services, how he is able to care for others even while doing his services, how he is able to do selfless service to all the devotees, or to not only to devotees but mostly to Lord Ram, right? So first we'll take, it's not that we are going to imitate Hanuman, because Hanumanji as a child, he wants to go and grab that sun and eat it, thinking that it is a ripened fruit. And what happens? By chance it was Indra, he stopped Hanuman and he stopped him from going and accessing the sun and eating it. If not for him, then he would have eaten it already. And in that, when he tried to obstruct with his deadly weapon, Hanuman falls unconscious. And he's a newborn baby. So, father of Hanumanji gets so angry. Who's he? Wind god, Vayu. So, when Vayu gets angry, what happens? He actually tries to stop everybody from breathing. He tries to control the air. And then there's no more air and everybody is suffocating. Then everybody reaches out to Lord Brahma. What does Brahma, our creator, do? He straight away personally goes to Hanumanji. He gives some untold powers. He tries to revive him out of that unconsciousness, and he helps him out, and in that way Vayu, wind god, becomes pacified. So not that we want to imitate him, but we want to follow in his footsteps. Like we want to identify what was his strengths, how did he practice Krishna consciousness or practice Rama consciousness, and how did he perform his service. So from this, from his life examples, we will learn how we can do best in our devotional service. So what was Hanuman's talent? He was lifting mountains, he would actually kill anybody. So his talent was he had strength, right? And a quick study of his life reveals that there are so many examples. When Rama's wife Sita was abducted by Lord Ram, what happened? Hanuman had to jump over all the oceans, go to meet Ravana, the demon, and he warned Ravana to release her. And in the process, what happens? The demon Ravana refuses, and Hanuman, who gets angry, he kills maybe 20,000 of Ravana's soldiers, 80,000 of Ravana's Rakshasa soldiers. Then he kills the demon Jambumali, then 7 sons of Ravana's ministers, and the 5 commanders of Ravana's armies. And finally, Ravana's own son was also killed and defeated. Not as though not enough, he even burns Lanka, the entire city of Ravana, before he jumps back to see Lord Ram. And he explains that he has actually seen Sita being saved, so he's actually bringing the message to Lord Ram, saying that Lord Ram, Sita is very safe, so don't have to worry about it. So next thing that we see about Hanuman is not just that he is strong enough to actually go over all those oceans, but he is also very powerful in initiating and directing the project of building the bridge towards Lanka. So he brought all the Vanaras. Not only that, he gave strategies and ideas, he himself worked on the project. He put lot of mountains and stones and rocks, so that the path for Lord Ram to reach to Lanka was good. And so during the battle also, we have seen that Hanuman actually carried Lord Ram and Lakshman on his broad shoulders when they went to fight against Ravana. And another example, so these are all examples where we find how much Hanuman is actually using his strength in performing the service to Lord Ram and Lord Lakshmana. And we also find that Hanumanji is the best of the best carriers, even better than Vishnu's carrier Garuda, it seems. So it's mentioned that the job that he is doing is better than even other personalities who are doing the service for God. So another example that we can quote is when Indrajit struck black magic on Lord Ram's army. Lakshman gets affected, and the Vanaras also get affected, and we find that there's physicians coming and treating Lakshman and the soldiers. So the physician Sushena expressed that we need to get a herb called Vishalya Karani from the mountain called Gandha Mandana. So then Hanuman, being the strongest person who can fly and reach to that particular mountain in time, he had to again go battle an army of protective demigods, because they were protecting that mountain, because it was kept for a specific reason. If Hanuman wants to pick anything and everything, they wouldn't let a monkey go and pick anything and everything. So then they also battled, and Hanuman finally won, and he didn't know which was the herb that he has to bring back. So what did he do? He carried the entire mountain and he brought over for Lakshmana and the warriors to be treated. Another example for Hanuman being the strongest, using his talent in the right way. And so one might think, oh, Hanuman is doing such great services. Where will I stand? How much can I do service comparing to Hanuman? Would Lord Ram even look at me if I try to do something? Because our amount of service is very petty, right? So we can also get examples from Hanuman's story itself, where you know how when Hanuman was trying to build a bridge, there was also spiders who was brushing the dust into the waters as part of their service. And so Hanuman was like, he wanted the spiders to get away so he could do his heavy lifting jobs and put the rocks and get things done quickly, right? So then Lord Ram admonished him, he chastised him, saying, don't take pride, Hanuman. Just like how I appreciate the service that you are doing, I also appreciate the service that these little spiders are doing. So then Hanuman was like, okay, he understood what Lord Ram's mood was, and he appreciated the efforts that the squirrels or the spiders would actually do to build the bridge to Lanka. So 2 lessons that we can learn from this events is that, first is that whoever we are, we always have something to offer for the Lord. Yeah, one could be a good dancer, one could be a good garland maker, one could be a good cleaner, or one could be a good cook, one could be a good book distributor. So what is our nature? We need to identify, how am I wanting to serve the Lord? So if we identify the way that we want to serve the Lord, then it becomes easier. So first, identify whichever talent we have and focus on that service, and try to give your heart and soul towards it, and we have to be the best in offering the service to the Lord. So that is one. And Krishna, because we are offering it with the heart and soul, he will accept it as a first class devotion, because we are putting full attention. The second is that we should strive to do the best for the Lord, and in the process of the service we should never obstruct anybody from doing the service or belittle anybody for whatever service they are doing. No matter how small service they do, we should appreciate every service. It's not that one does a humongous service and he is great. Hanuman was big, he was perfect. But little spider also does some service, right? There's meaning in every little service that we do for Krishna. So Prabhupada, in one of a temple opening address in Hyderabad, mentions that just like how a pujari who stands in front of the deities and offers services to the lordships, or just like how he bathes the deities, it is same as one who is cleaning the toilets. There is no difference. So, but our conditioned nature, or people from Indian background think, oh, cleaning the toilet? Maybe not. It's Shudra's job. It's not very entertaining, it's not very enlivening. And Pujari says, oh, he's doing dressing service of the deity, bathing the deities. Oh, that's good. No. In front of Krishna's eyes, somebody who's doing service for the deities, bathing the deities is same to somebody cleaning the toilet as well. So every service is close to Krishna's heart, and everybody is, obviously Krishna has his biases, because the more one gives with attention and focus and does the service, Krishna loves them more. Similarly with Hanumanji and Lord Ram. Even though so many Vanaras were doing service, but Hanuman's focus and attention was more in pleasing the Lord, and that's how Hanuman gained Lord Ram's attention. So coming back, so we should not be belittling anybody who does small service. We might do a big service, but we have to take care that we don't hurt others in the process of we doing service. And Hanumanji, while doing his service, he went to see Sitama. She was kept in jail. She was like in protective environment. Even though Hanuman was very strong, he did so many big tasks, so we don't consider him as a brute. So he is still soft-hearted, he is still very caring. He went to Sitama, he offered the ring which Lord Ram had given to Sita, and he expressed that Lord Ram's commitment in taking her back, protecting her, and he expressed that assured Sitama to be very safe and not to worry too much, saying that her husband will come and take her back. So Sitama felt very comfortable. So taking this scenario back home, Lord Ramachandra appreciated Hanuman's task of how he made Sitama felt very comfortable in that process. So not just while she was in captivity, but even after Lord Ram had fought the battle, won over Ravana and demon Ravana, and he comes back, Hanumanji comes back, goes to Sita, meets her, and takes back Sita, expresses that Lord Ram has won over demon Ravana, and then he takes Sita back, and then makes the husband and wife meet. And in that process, Lord Ram appreciates every little service that Hanuman had done, and he offers ornament to Sita's necklace to Hanumanji as an offering. Not only that, he also offers unflinching, pure devotion to himself, Lord Ram, to Hanuman. So that's a blessing Hanumanji gets. So in Hanumanji's example, we can also see how simple he is in his services, simple hearted. So it will be like, usually we know that devotees are very uncomplicated, right? The life of them is very simple. They simply want to serve the Lord. They come, they do the service, they serve the Lord, and then they go. How in Hanuman's example, how we can see is, when Ji goes to see Sitama, and when she's in captivity, he sees Sitama having vermilion, that sindoor, in her partition. And then what happens? So Hanuman, out of curiosity, asks Sitama, "What is that you're putting on your forehead? Why is it red in color?" Then Sitama explains, "So it is sindoor. So why do you have to keep it?" Then Sitama again explains, "Oh, it is for my husband's, Sri Rama's long life, and protect him from calamities." And then hearing that, Hanuman was like, "Oh, if a pinch of sindoor can actually protect Hanuman Lord Ram so much, okay, how much can a pile of sindoor do?" So he puts all over his body, and same way he goes back to see Lord Ram. And then everybody in the other side of the ocean gets like, "Oh, Hanuman, what happened? Why are you coming like this, all red?" And their Vanaras starts to laugh seeing Hanuman like this. But Lord Ram quietly asked Hanuman, "What happened? Why are you like this?" And then Hanuman is explaining, like, "This is what Sitama said, so that is why I applied sindoor all over my body." Then Lord Ram again was moved by Hanuman's such innocent show of bhakti, and then he proclaims that devotee and Lord Ram again gives blessing to Hanumanji and devotees of Hanuman, saying that whoever worships Hanumanji with the sindoor, they will be blessed with the same blessings of crossing over all the obstacles of devotional service with ease. So that's why in India you would have seen that Hanuman is worshipped with sindoor smeared all over his body, right? Particularly not red, but I think nowadays it's orange color. So yeah. So after all these services Hanuman has done, we can also see how selfless he is. So Hanuman has got wonderful qualities, right? So he's a leader. He can make strategies. He's learned in Vedic scriptures. In Vraja we can see that Narad Muni, while searching for the greatest devotee of the Lord, he actually explains how great Hanuman is. He says he's free of all fear. He's actually a strictly celibate. He's extremely intelligent. He's a skilled poet. He can even glorify Lord Ram forever. And he also did medical services, right? He carried the whole mountain. He gave medicines. So even though one might have lot of wonderful qualities, when Lord Ram is offering him the benediction of getting liberated, what did Hanuman say? He said, "Sorry, Lord Ram, I don't want liberation, which means getting out of this material world, where I have to forget that you're my master and I am your servant." So all that he wanted is, he wanted to have more services to Lord Ram, so he can be in the presence of Lord Ram and offer more services. So that's his greatness. That's how selfless Hanumanji was. So we can also see that while Lord Ram's glories are happening, it seems in ancient times or even today, Hanumanji is present hearing to the glories of Lord Ram. So, and ISKCON devotees, what do? They always chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we say Rama, Rama, right? So Hanuman is here also. He's hearing, he's hearing. He's there on that altar, Gopuram, on both sides. So it's cute, right? So every time we find that wherever Krishna is, the devotees of Krishna are also present. So it's beautiful, and that's why Prabhupada says that Krishna likes his devotees to be glorified, and if we are more devoted to the devotees of Krishna, Krishna is more pleased. So how do we want to please Krishna? By being devoted to the devotees of Krishna. And who is that devotee whose Prabhupada has instructed us to take? Our spiritual master. So at least, if one is not initiated, at least one will be aspiring to become, aspiring to follow in the footsteps of one guru or It could be a Siksha Guru, or it could be a Diksha Guru, but one will have an aspiration. Okay, I want to be like that person. Or if one is initiated, then one will think, okay, I want to be like Srila Prabhupada. I want to be like this Guru, right? So, if we are, and if that Guru has given us that service, and if we try to take part in that service that is given to us with full focus and attention, then Guru is pleased. Because Guru is pleased, Krishna and Srimati Radharani Ma are pleased. So that's it I had for today. Any questions, comments? Thank you. Mm. Correct. Yeah, they are fortunate. It means they get more mercy. They can advance very quickly. But it doesn't mean that the toilet cleaning service is not right. Maybe the people, I mean, it depends on the heart, right? Whatever we want to offer, we offer it with full focus and attention. See, why we go on we go on the streets, we get so much chastisement from people coming around. Yeah. So it's a challenge that we take to please Krishna. Similarly, when we clean the toilets, it's a challenge. Not everybody likes to do the job, but still, if one wants to do the job, Krishna will be pleased. Because even though it's dirty, not many like it. Few only are wanting to do it, and in that few, one is wanting to do it in the first class with his full heart and soul. Then how won't it please Krishna? Yeah. Correct. Ekabhutena, with great focus and attention, whatever little service, even cleaning of the temple floor, or even could be folding of a cloth, or could be decorating a simple any simple service that we want to do around the temple for the lordships, feeding of devotees, welcoming devotees into the temple. If we do it with heart and soul, Krishna will be. Maybe we don't like it, but if we want to please Krishna, we want to show our smiling faces for some time. For some time it will be boring. Then it will come naturally. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Prabhu. The significance is Lord wants us to meditate on his body, not that Lord, Narad Muni wants us to understand the bodily features of the Lord and meditate upon the devotees of the Lord. So if this Kaustubha jewel, see, in spiritual world, everything is living and everything is a personality. So this Kaustubha jewel or the Srivatsa pendant or mark is also a personality meant to glorify the Supreme Personalities of Godhead's bodily features. So if we remember these names, we can recollect and meditate on the bodily features of the Lord, because most of us are not inclined to just dry philosophy, right? We want the juice. So if it's necklace, if it's ornaments, then we get attracted. So if we are told in such a way, so we get attracted to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way also we can tell, no, like these ornaments were there around Krishna's waist, neck, chest and everything. So then we can try to meditate on Supreme Personality of Godhead like that. That's my understanding anyway. Sorry, Prabhu, I don't remember now, but I can come back to you on that. Any other questions? Thank you. Hare Krishna.